Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. As always, I am your host, Matt Brandon, bringing you all professional wrestling's news, notes, innuendos, and whatever you can come up with in this crazy-ass world that we love called professional wrestling. Hey, happy frickin' Friday. We made it to Friday, but this is more than just a Friday, all right? As I said, this isn't even about the wrestling, all right? Happy Slurpee Day, okay? It's 7-Eleven, fools. If you grew up where I grew up, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So, and I know out of the 9 of you, a couple of you did. Slurpee Day rules, all right? Slurpee Day rules. I remember my favorite Slurpee Day was back in the day. You could go in for your Slurpee, and it was the day back when the old Slurpees had the baseball coins on the underneath, like the reflector baseball coins. Oh man, ride my bike up there, freaking grab a Slurpee, play some Rad Racer. If you were from where I'm from, you know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. All right, so a couple of you just went, "Hey, wait a minute, Rad Racer was a great game." So I'm going to leave you with that on the bullshit. Now let's get to wrestling, okay? Because we have a ton to talk about. I'll gloss over some stuff today. I want to go over our plan for tomorrow, which is still a little bit up in the air with all the stuff we have going on. But my God, the weekend is here, and it is a wrestling freaking weekend. If you can't get excited for this weekend, I can't explain to you what I can help you with, all right? Just tonight alone. Friday night Smackdown. We got Ring of Honor Supercard, which I'll watch later on. And for me, if I stay up late, and maybe have to watch it first thing in the morning, but I plan on watching the Game Changer Wrestling. I plan on watching GCW, which I posted on the Facebook machine. There are some dudes going in the GCW. For me, mainly, I want to see Matt Cardona versus Shotzi. I think that's going to be absolutely fire. So, and yes, they do intergender matches, and normally I don't get behind intergender matches, but Matt Cardona can go with anybody and make anybody look so damn good. So there you go. And Shotzi's fantastic. So, but as far as last night, we doubled up last night. We had AEW Collision. Not on its normal night. Normal night Saturday. Obviously, they got a little something going on Saturday. But this was the AEW Collision Go Home show for tomorrow's blast of a show in AEW All In, live from the Rangers Stadium in Dallas, Texas, or Fort Worth, Texas. However, I'm not a Texan. What are you going to do? So the AEW Collision was good. It wasn't great. I scored it a B. And honestly, the good outweighed the bad for me. And I'm not going to say bad. That's probably the wrong term to do. But I really thought there were some real big high points here, but there were a couple low points, and we'll get to those, all right? We opened up with a tag match, actually, starting up a little trios action where we had Paragon with Adam Cole, Bebe, and Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, who I am more of a Roderick Strong guy every time I see him in the ring. The guy doesn't have bad matches. He just really doesn't, and man, he's aggressive, and I love watching that style. But we had Paragon over the Callis family. This Callis family, Kyle Fletcher and RPG Vice, who had Kyle Fletcher, Rocky Romero, Trent Beretta. As I put in my notes on this, the best part of this match, well, the match was great. The match was absolutely great. They said it on commentary, but I want to say it here because I've said it before. Trent Beretta might be the most underrated professional wrestler in the whole entire business. The guy doesn't do much wrong, and he has great matchups with all the different styles, because honestly there were 3 different styles of wrestlers going for Paragon, with Kyle O'Reilly being like a shoot fighter, and which he is, an MMA guy, Roddy Strong being totally aggressive, and Adam Cole, who's just smooth as freaking silk, you know. So and every single one of them Trent Beretta makes look like a damn genius. So I just thought I wanted to throw out the props. But other than that, other than Roddy, other than Trent, this match was "Let's go, Kyle." You remember last week on Collision, the Kyle chants was one of my favorite moments of the week. My favorite one was, instead of "This is awesome," was "This is Kyle." They tried getting it going. They matched up against each other to begin this match. Kyle O'Reilly, Kyle Fletcher. The crowd, it almost took them a second. It was like they forgot what the heck was going on for a minute once they got it going. But then as soon as the crowd gets going with the "Let's Go Kyle" stuff, they not in the match anymore. We tag out. So it kind of fell flat. You had a moment there, boys, you could have kept rocking with. That could have created shirts. You could have created hats, buttons, stickers. That, ladies and gentlemen, is money, and that's what the wrestling business is all about, right? So what did we get? Roddy shines. Was the biggest thing that I took from this match. Like I said, I would like to see Roddy Strong. If they're not going to give him and Kyle O'Reilly any type of chance at the tag belts, which right now they don't fit in the picture, right? Let's let Roddy have at least some type of a chance to do something singles. I want to see him more in the. Actually, you know what I want to see? I want to see Roddy Strong. I know we've seen this match before. I want to see Roddy Strong versus Takeshita tomorrow. Right? I know we're not getting that, but I think that would be such a good match in two styles that would just mash up dance partners all day long. So Paragon goes over this one here. Again, Paragon is just kind of out there. I'm not sure where we're going, the direction with this. I will say this. I think Adam Cole loses this belt tomorrow. So, I don't know. We'll see. I think Fletcher beats him. I think this is the first singles gold for Kyle Fletcher, which I think he deserves. And again, it's not like Adam Cole needs that belt to be over, although he had been a little soured on recently. So we'll kind of see the direction. I want to see Adam Cole on the up and up. That's what I want to see. All right. We had Scorpio Sky had a little nice piece backstage with Christopher Daniels and Top Flight along with Layla Gray. The name of this group is Skyflight. I thought that was really good, simple, to the point. I thought Scorpio did a good job with his time on the mic. If you noticed, you got very, very little from Top Flight, which is the way this needs to be right now because Christopher Daniels can be the mouthpiece. All right, you got Scorp. He's going to be that top guy. He's the dude of this faction. But Christopher Daniels can be the mouthpiece. He can be that manager guy and not afraid to get physical either. So I really like the direction that this could go. My only thing with it is they talk about Layla Gray being a badass as well. That doesn't work for me. I don't know if I've ever seen her win a match on television. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying that she has become more of a valet than she's been a wrestler. Hell, she hasn't wrestled in a month or so, maybe, right? I know she does a little bit on Ring of Honor. I get that. I'm not discounting that. But for people that don't watch Ring of Honor, you're just zeroed in on the AEW stuff. You don't know her as a wrestler. And now we're going to promote her as a wrestler. So that was my only negative. But I'm really, really interested to see where this faction goes. I think there's some possibilities there. And above all, we got Scorpio Sky back. So, and you guys know I'm a huge fan of his in-ring ability. So fun to watch, right? We had a big match coming after this with Mystico and the Beast Mordos. Mystico goes over here. You knew he was going to. My main note that I put on this one was Lucha Genius. That was a exhibition of Lucha Libre, the way it's supposed to be done, from the power aspect of the Beast, from the freaking wonderful moveset aspect of Mystico. And I don't know if you've noticed, folks, but Mystico is over like Rover. All right. This is CMLL at its best. Mystico is the guy when it comes to CMLL, in my eyes, in my viewpoint. Now, there's other dudes. I know we've been big. I've been big on Templario a lot lately, younger guy, but it's all about Mystico, guys. And I want to say this. I want more of it. More than anything, I hope that in the gauntlet match tomorrow, we get some time to kind of simmer, marinate this Mystico MJF thing. I think that's the direction this should go. I need them to wrestle again. All right. And that's what I put. I need more of this. I need more Mystico. We're not going to get a ton more of him. We know probably after Forbidden Door, he's going to go back down to Mexico. But, man, it's great to see Mystico getting these type of pushes. Go back, you guys. We've talked about it before. He's Sin Cara, right, from the old WWE days back in the mid 2000s. And when I say mid, that's Sin Cara. He was mid card the whole way. I liked him. I thought there was lots of Lucha Libre possibility there, but WWE wasn't in that direction at the time. Hell, now he fits in like a freaking genius. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And I don't care because I like this fact of Mystico. Main card, AEW, CMLL. It makes total sense to me. Now, what I'm thinking we should do here, come Forbidden Door, is we have Mystico representing CMLL. We have MJF representing the loveliness that is AEW. And then pull somebody out of New Japan to maybe to represent New Japan in a triple threat. Let's see who the king of this is. My recommendation would be El Fantasma. That would be fucking ELP, maybe. Give me ELP in a triple threat. That would be fun as hell because MJF can go with any of those styles and be fine. So, but it was nice to see Mystico go over. You could tell the Texas crowd wasn't quite with the entrance song. I have a feeling at All In, we're going to get more of that, although it's going to be in a gauntlet match, so he's going to run down. We're not going to have a ton of time to let it kind of simmer. So we'll see the direction. What else did we have going here? Mark Briscoe dropped a hell of a promo, guys. If you want emotion out of professional wrestling, and you've heard me say this hundreds of times, I've said it hundreds of times. This is episode 95, but you've heard me say this many, many, many times. Professional wrestling is all about emotion. It's the emotion that the wrestlers portray in the ring, and it's the emotion that the crowd gives to the people in the ring. You feed off of this emotion. Well, a promo done with proper emotion, whether it's in front of a crowd or not, can be spot on. This one was. This one totally was. Actually, thinking about it kind of gave me chills just a little bit. That's weird. I'm so lame. But this Briscoe promo, man, he brought in so much power of emotion with this. Talking about the late Jay Briscoe, bringing the family. He's like, I was prepared for you to be a dick. That's basically what he was saying. I was ready for you, but you know what? You crossed the line. And now because you crossed, I love how he ended. He said, I'm going to whip your ass. And you know what? He might. He might. And honestly, I went into this, and I said this on yesterday's show. I didn't think Mark Briscoe had a chance to win this gauntlet match. I don't think MJF does either. I don't think Mystico does. I think this is going to come out of left field. That's why I said to watch somebody like Ricochet. With that said, I think Mark Briscoe has a chance to win this match now. I really do. That promo got, and I'm a Mark Briscoe guy, but I've not looked at him as like total main event. You know what I mean? But man, after that promo, he can be. He totally can be, and I think it's freaking awesome. You know, I got a spam call right here. Let me just go ahead and block that. I've been getting 706 spam calls from my people in the CSRA. Like I moved up here, and I get at least 150 a day, right? And when I was there living in the 706, no, none. So, God, dude, fuck off. So the Briscoe promo was great, fire and emotion, so much better than the MJF piece, to be honest with you. And then we got a great little 8-man tag between Jet Speed, Speedball Mike Bailey, and the Jet Kevin Knight, along with the youngest tag team alive, and that's the Outrunners. I just gave the Outrunners their props last week on the show after Collision because it's definitely the best match they've ever had. This one, not quite as good. But still, I mean, when you're dealing with an 8-man tag, it's a little different than dealing straight up, so you don't have as much time to shine. I did think this. I thought Turbo Floyd, once again, looked the part. I thought he acted just a great job by the Outrun. Great job by everybody here, but they actually beat FTR and the Patriarchy. I would have lost money on this one. I actually thought that it would be FTR going over. I thought that it would be Patriarchy going over, even though they would get some infighting between those. This was a good little spot here. All right, what I put here is loved almost every second except the start. And let me throw this out there. Because you're having an 8-man tag doesn't necessarily mean we have to have a standoff in every single match, right? It kind of takes a little bit away. When you do it every time, it just becomes normal. I want the freaking standoff where all 4 men start throwing hands to happen every now and again. It shouldn't be an every time we have an 8-man tag, we're going to greet 4 people in the ring and then everybody's going to start fighting and then chaos breaks out. It's too simple. It's way too simple. So let's try to clean that up just a little bit, can we? Because hell, you could have started this match. Think about this. You start this match with, and I'm just going to say, let's say the Jet Kevin Knight starting off against Dax. A mix of styles. That would have been a hell of a way to greet people and get them in and get them invested right away. Because every person in this match had a emotional investment. So I don't know. I thought the start missed, but with what we missed at the start, everything gained throughout this match. What this also does here is it creates more story. Now, I said yesterday, I wouldn't be surprised if they added to the tag team title match that we have going on at All In tomorrow, where we have the Patriarchy along with Jet Speed taking on the Hurt Syndicate. I said, why not add the Outrunners? Why not add FTR to this? Well, we know now we're not going to get that. We're going to get Outrunners versus FTR to clear the air and to end this whole thing. How cool would it be for the Outrunners to go over at All In? And this might end up being on the pre-show. I haven't looked at the full card and how it's going to roll yet. I'll do that tomorrow. But FTR, if they lost this match and the Outrunners were to go over FTR, man, strap a rocket to them, because even though they're considered a comedy act, like, I don't care. They've proven to me that they can be in that title picture. Hell, go back to their match with the Hurt Syndicate months ago. It worked on certain levels, and then it just stopped working. And then the story dies. So let's see the direction they go with it. We're getting FTR Outrunners, and I'm okay with it, right? We had a great spot in the backstage. I know I need to start going a little faster here because I do want to get to TNA. We'll probably gloss over most of that. But we had a backstage piece with Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page that, man, storytelling 101. My note for, what did I put for this note for this? I just put really awesome. There was not a part of that interaction that I didn't like. Starts off where we're definitely macho manning each other out, staring, each guy's looking pretty tough. Swerve takes a step forward. And then Hanger grabs the chair. And then they start talking about all this. And Hanger called him out. He's like, man, what you did to me was wrong. My kid can't sleep at night. You broke into my house. Talking about all that. Bringing back the stories of a while back. I mean, hell, almost a year ago, right? And then he's like, but I can't get over that. I'll never, because I originally thought, well, they're just going to forgive each other and hug it out. They didn't. There was realism to it where both guys said, you know what? I regret what I've done, but I regret it now when I look back on it. If you would have asked me a month ago, I would have said, to hell with them. Swerve said it. Hanger basically said it. But basically what you're doing is an evolution of these guys, of these men, right? And basically saying, well, man, we might need each other for this. I'm not going to like you, right? Doesn't mean I don't respect you. I know those words didn't come out. I know that. But that's exactly what I got out of it. That's, all right, we can get this done together. And basically Swerve pretty much telling Hanger that you win this belt, I'm going to come for you, and that's how it's going to be. But you've got to get this belt. You have to get this job done. And I thought that piece was so good. I thought the emotion that both guys did, I thought the foreshadowing of what's to come based off of what happened in the past was so, so good. Good storytelling. Once again, good storytelling. AEW storytelling recently has been so damn good. I told my wife last night, I said, I'm more invested right now in AEW stories than I ever have been, and I always have been. So there's just so many that you can knock off. And hell, I'm not even talking about the match I'm looking most forward to tomorrow, which is Omega and Okada. So, great stuff. Speaking of New Japan Pro Wrestling, right? We had Katsuyori Shibata taking on Gabe Kidd. Looks like Gabe Kidd is going to be part of the Death Riders again. I'm good with that. I'm good with that because it gets me Gabe Kidd on my television. Gabe Kidd takes out Shibata. All right. Ended up taking a low blow, which I didn't really care for. But I got to see a lot of really good Japanese strong style on an American television, so I'm good with that. The only thing I want to say with this is I have talked about how strong Gabe Kidd looks, how Gabe Kidd is a psychopath. He's there to take people out, blah, blah, blah. Just mean, nasty, the mean, nasty Englishman. He came off looking a little bit weak last night by having to take out Shibata with the low blow. And this came out with being a, student versus teacher. Shibata trained Gabe Kidd. I think the story is better if Gabe Kidd just beats his mentor, right? I've beat you. I've surpassed you. I'm meaner than you. There's nothing that you can do better than me. I've evolved, right? The low blow didn't work for me in that case. And I understand it's Shibata. There's just this aura around Shibata. He's different. So I get that part. I think we did Gabe Kidd a little bit of disservice. Now, what we also get out of this is going to be this trios match, and it's coming, guys. We're going to get it. I can't wait tomorrow, right? Where we're getting the Ops, Samoa Joe, Katsuyori Shibata, and my man, Powerhouse Hobbs, taking on the Death Riders. And we're getting Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Gabe Kidd. Here's my thing. And I'm not sure how this match falls down yet, because my my initial stuff would be probably Gabe Kidd and Claudio taking these belts off of the Ops. But here's the thing. Are they going to put belts on the Ops and still have John Moxley lose to Hangman? That's the kind of thing. So, I'm not so sure the direction of the trios belts. I'll make my picks tomorrow, and then we'll figure it out from there. So, but the match was pretty good. The match itself was pretty good. I mean, it was Japanese strong style. It's exactly what this match was. So, then comes in the negativity. I don't need Big Boom AJ on this card. I understand the reason being it's getting the people who normally don't watch AEW that are freaking TikTokers. It's getting these people to watch because you're going to see the Rizzler, right? He's funny, right? Boom. I hate it. I don't like it. I think you're chasing the hug. I think that this card speaks for itself. I know it's going to be on the pre-show now, but we're getting Big Boom AJ in his too tight wrestling pants, taking on along with the conglomeration. It looks like the conglomeration making a return with Kyle O'Reilly. Might be the best part of that. Who's also in Paragon, but you're going to take on the Callis family with Lance Archer. Who else? Lance Archer and RPG Vice, right? With Beretta and Rocky Romero. So I don't see, I know it's on the pre-show, but you can't tell me that there are guys backstage that couldn't fill this spot and fill it in a big way. So all you're doing is chasing tickets, you're chasing the hug here, and I don't like that. So that's my negativity of this show, period. Okay. Main event to the women, guys, as Willow gets the damn pin. Willow Nightingale, Queen Aminata, Mina Shirakawa, and Thunder Rosa go over Megan Bain, Athena, Tekla, and Julia Hart, with my girl Chris Statlander on commentary, which, by the way, she was awesome on commentary. I want to hear more. Chris can be so good on the mic, very underrated sometimes, but also I thought that the way that Nigel and her had banter back and forth, that was really, really good. That was just a good piece. Great to see Willow go over here. Great to see Willow get the finish. Although I would have liked to have seen a little bit more Willow, Megan Bain. I don't know why. I want to see these two, man. I really want to see these two. But with that said, we also got a lot of foreshadowing with Stat and Megan Bain. And Stat said, I'm tired of hearing people bragging about how strong this girl is. I'm strong. I'm just as strong, if not stronger, than her. So that's a decent little spot there. I would have liked to have seen more Mina in this match. I'm unapologetic with how much I love Mina Shirakawa and her in-ring ability. I mean, her dancing's fantastic, but her in-ring ability is better. I would have liked to have seen more of Mina. I really would have. I get why Thunder wasn't a big part of this match, because obviously the big show tomorrow, or tonight rather, with Athena. And the same reason Athena wasn't much in this match. But you know what? Outside of Willow, I still think that Athena shines over everybody in this piece. Tekla right behind her. I thought it was another chance for her to have some good spots as well. So the main event worked. I thought we had some good pieces. Would have liked to have seen a little bit more here and there, but I got what I wanted, and that was the Willow finish. So there you go. Like I said, we scored the show a B, and that's about as high as I could go. And honestly, it's because of Big Boom AJ. I just call it what it is. I don't like that. As a wrestling purist, I don't like that. So there you go. Let's get to TNA, guys. We got too much to talk about. The last night in Pittsburgh, thank God, I think. Slammiversary next Sunday, so we're almost to the big show for TNA. I love the fact that we got the big show for AEW this week with All In, and then next weekend we get the big show for TNA with Slammiversary. Just great, great stuff here. But let's go over this. Ash and Heather by Elegance, they defeat Harley Hudson and Myla Grace. I think Harley Hudson is going to be a superstar. All right. Myla Grace, not bad, quick. I like her moves. I like her move set. But Harley Hudson is going to be a star. All right, I call it. But man, oh man, are those gals Scottish? Wow, when you hear them talk, that is some Scottish. So, which I like. So there you go. We had Cedric Alexander, John Schuyler. And this was my best piece of the whole show. Cedric Alexander, John Schuyler, Jason Hotch taking on Mustafa Ali's Secret Service. We go over, it's done. Cedric and them get it done. Schuyler looked fantastic, as he always does. Then at the end of the match comes the swerve, as my girl Tasha Steeles gives the low blow to Cedric Alexander, and basically walks out. Her facial expressions were great. Later on in the show, we get the outside interaction, and it looks like we might have a new leader of Order 4 because it seems like they're back together. I love this. And you saw that shot of Mustafa kind of realizing that, you know what, she's got a damn point. She's pretty good on this. And I just thought the piece worked. Order 4 could be a great heel faction. At the end of that, we get a little showdown, which we're now going to get, I guess, next week, as see who the best faction is we got Order 4 versus the System. System has one extra guy. We'll see how this ends up working out, but probably going to be a mixed trios match or mixed 6-man tag. So, excuse me. We'll see the direction that we go. But that was a great piece. We had Masha Slamovich and Li Ying Lee. They went over JC Jane and Fallon Henley of Fatal Influence. We're going to get more of that. Can't wait for the shot where we're going to get Masha and JC coming up at Slammiversary. Title versus title, winner takes all. That's an interesting little piece. Talk about some more Forbidden Door action. I really, really like this. It's going to grow. Leon Slater face-to-face with Moose was really solid. I enjoyed that. Didn't enjoy Steve Macklin going over and retaining his international championship. I thought this was the chance we had for the Manser to finally win this damn belt that I believe he deserves because of the work he's been doing. But Macklin goes over, hard-hitting match, and Manser didn't bleed. So there you go. Anytime Manser doesn't bleed, it makes you question things, right? Love me some Manser. Indy Hartwell over Victoria Crawford. All this match does was set up. By the way, weird finish. Very wonky finish. Almost made me think that Victoria Crawford got hurt. But not sure. Haven't read anything on it. We'll see the direction that this goes. But what it sets up is Indy versus Tessa. I'm totally good with this. The only thing I'm asking, before this all sets up, Tessa alluded to the fact that she was kind of Indy's mentor. Give me the backstory on this, all right? Too many people might not know this relationship. Give me backstory. If you give backstory to this, this could be an excellent feud. And a great way to get Indy in with the TNA crowd because, damn, who's more over as a heel in TNA right now than freaking Tessa Blanchard? No one. That's your answer. So that was a good little piece. The Joe Hendry Santana stuff. We had the backstage interview with Joe Hendry. Totally good. Love the fact that Hendry reminded everybody that he might be a good show with the songs and such, but the dude's a legitimate badass. That's a black belt in judo and a world champion freestyle wrestler. Like the guy is legit. Sometimes we forget about that. He's also a power lifter and one of the strongest pound for pound guys in all of wrestling. You know, strongest pound for pound, 252 pounds of pure motivation. The Santana stuff, talking about New York, his homeland, great stuff. So enjoyed it. Main event here surprised me as First Class and Nick Nemeth, the Nemeths, Ryan and Nick, they go over the Hardys and the Rascals. No Trey Miguel again. We had, was it Myron Reed once again filling in? Just said Trey Miguel has a hernia. Get well soon, Trey. It was a little off without Trey. That Trey's just that good of a showman, and I don't think out of this group, who sells better than Trey Miguel? No one. At the end, Trick comes in to lay the wood to freaking Hardys. Then you get the run in. Mike Santana comes out, starts laying people out. He starts getting his ass kicked. Joe Hendry makes the save here, comes out on top. And then before it's over with and all the melee, Joe Hendry hits Mike Santana. That's storytelling. That's that freaking triple threat at Slammiversary next week with Trick, Joe Hendry, and Mike Santana is going to be great. That's right. Great. All right. So there you go. I scored this a B-, mainly because I'm tired of the Pittsburgh crowd. That's it. That's pretty much it. Guys, I got to speed up here. Smackdown tonight, live from Nashville. What do we got on the crowd? R-Truth, a.k.a. Ron Killings, is going to take on Aleister Black. Might lose his life. We're getting the Street Profits versus the Wyatt Six for the tag belts. And then we're also, guys, getting Jelly Roll. And by God, that's all that really matters. By the way, I'm not I love Jelly Roll. His talk of recovery and addiction and stuff like that. His songs always speak, and always great to see him. But is he a wrestler? I don't know. I know he loves his shit, so good to see you. Crowd will pop. We know that. All right. Also, tonight, guys, Ring of Honor Supercard. You can only watch it on the Honor Club, which is the Ring of Honor website. Check that out. Takeshita Bandito. That's what I'm saying. Athena Thunder Rosa. Sons of Texas versus the Infantry. It's going to be great. I will be watching the Ring of Honor Supercard at some point this evening. You have my word. Guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Not sure the direction of the show. Stay tuned to the Facebook machine. I'll kind of give you an idea of when I'm going to do my show. Probably going to go early tomorrow is kind of my plan because things get going early, and I'll be here for all of it, guys, right here on the Slow Burn. And remember, we're wrestling everything. Stay on top.